Hamas are coming back into areas of Gaza once occupied by the IDF. But right now, all eyes are on the feed from the border where the Red Cross will bring the hostages to meet their families. Now, joining me now is Rabbi Chaim Mentz with Chabad of Bel Air. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
So you've been keeping in contact with the people that you know in Israel. What are you hearing? Is there a great feeling of relief that this is finally happening?
There is a great feeling of relief, and the main reason is because we're finally getting them home. More importantly is we've been praying for this for 2 years, and now all of a sudden we can go and say we can stop praying for the whole nation to heal. On the other hand, my friends are also saying like this, wow, this is a two-edged sword. There's a lot that is being given up, and we don't even know exactly how Hamas is going to be defeated, etc.
Etc., exactly, because there is a phase 2. First up is the release of the hostages, but second, they have to have some kind of proof that Hamas will actually disarm, and there's not 100% clarity on how that will happen.
Well, the president is gathering 22 Arab nations together in Egypt. He's going to be talking to each one of them. What are you going to do to guarantee that Hamas is gone? The problem that a lot of Israelis are having is, how come we're not at the table? You're discussing my security? That is one issue. There's a bigger issue. If you're going to ask Arab people to go get rid of Hamas, which one of their armies, which one of their people are going to go into Hamas's territory and say, get out? Are they willing to do the fight? And this is how you're going to get them out is a big question.
So that sounds as if you're a little circumspect on whether or not the ceasefire will hold. And as President Trump said today, the war is over.
The president is very optimistic. The president has gone and said many wonderful things, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of work that has to be done. I would rather say the battle is over of getting the hostages home, but the war was always to defeat Hamas and get them out. What would I love to see in the future? I would love to see no more killings. Each one of the people, whether you're Jewish or whether you're in Gaza, you're created in the image of God. You have a potential. Let's bring out the love, let's bring out the potential, and that there should be no more war. And that should be a great future.
Rabbi, it's been more than 2 years. Why did it finally come together now for the hostages to be released?
Two things. I look at it from natural and then the unnatural. Naturally, this president has gone out of his way, he stuck his neck out, and he used a lot of pressure, get it done. Without the president in this physical world, it wouldn't have done. On the other hand, everybody talks about October 7th. But there's a Jewish calendar. The Jewish calendar, the 2-year ends Monday afternoon. So they were murdered, a lot of murder went in, and a lot of people were taken out on this Monday, Tuesday.
Wow.
Jewish people around the world are looking at it as an omen from above. The 2-year sense is over. Go party, go dance, and be proud of who we are.
Rabbi, thank you so much for
Pleasure.
joining us.
Yeah.
All right, well, as we continue to monitor a live picture from Tel Aviv, thousands of people are gathered in Hostage Square to witness the first group of hostages released. Now joining us is Hussam Ayloush from the Council on American Islamic Relations. Mr. Ayloush, are you there?
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so in addition to the hostages, Israel will release some 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. How much do you know about them and their conditions?
Well, let's start by using the right terms. It is not fair to use hostages when we're talking about Israeli captives and then talk about prisoners when we're talking about Palestinians, because Israel has been holding thousands and thousands of Palestinians, many of them with no trial, and that includes many minors, many women. People have nothing to do and never been charged with anything. And by the way, many of them have been held way long before October 7th. So let's call both hostages or both captives to be fair.
Okay. That is a fair point. All right, how confident are you that this ceasefire will hold and the Palestinians returning home will do so without worries about Hamas or the Israeli defense?
Sure. I mean, it seems President Trump is putting his weight behind it, so I'm a little bit more hopeful. I'm like many of us, we're very happy to see captives, innocent people going back to their families, whether they're Israeli or Palestinians. They don't deserve to be kept away from their loved ones. The challenge is that we could have reached that 2 years ago. This there was no need for a genocide. There was no need for 70,000 Palestinians to be killed. There was no need for 20,000 Palestinian children to be killed, 20,000 more amputated. But the politics of the region, the politics of Netanyahu, my worry is that as soon as President Trump gets busy somewhere else, Netanyahu has no reason to keep peace because he knows he's going to be pushed out of politics. He would be held accountable for a lot of charges, corruption charges he's dealing with. So unfortunately, until we deal with the root cause of the problem, the root cause of, first of all, we probably need to hold accountable those responsible for the genocide. But also, we need to deal with the root cause of the problem, and that is the occupation that existed before October 7th, before even Hamas or PLO came to existence. Palestinians, like all people in the world, deserve to live free on their own land. They deserve self-determination. They deserve to have their Palestinian state once and for all.
So it sounds as if you might be a little circumspect that this deal will come to full fruition.
I'm hopeful that at least this will be a cessation of fire. I mean, I'm happy to know that there are no missiles, unfortunately, US-supplied missiles, falling on the people of Gaza today. That today parents can hug their children and not worry that next day they might not be alive. But I don't see it as a long-term solution until we address the long-term root causes of this situation, this tragedy today, and that is Israel's refusal to allow Palestinians to have their own self-determination and state. Israel's refusal to end the occupation. Israel's refusal to end the illegal confiscation of Palestinian land, to build on them illegal, racist settlements for Jews only, on Palestinian land. We're not talking about inside of Israel. These are the West Bank. This is the place where a Palestinian state is expected to be established, a state that has been recognized by the overwhelming majority of the world, except our country, unfortunately.
All right, Mr. Aylouch, from the Council on American Islamic Relations, thank you for joining us. We have this continuing breaking news, and we want to show you this live shot now. That is Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. And just a minute ago, we saw a lot of activity, meaning a lot of people that were seemingly responding to a feed that they're watching on a giant screen, which would show them the moment, and you see them clapping there, the moment when the hostages will indeed be out of Gaza and back into Israel and back in Israel's possession, and reunited with their families. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on this live situation, but it seems as if we're watching history as the 20 remaining hostages, captives, are released. All right, get ready, Southern California. A winter-like storm is expected to hit late Monday through Wednesday, bringing significant rainfall, gusty winds, and even a chance of thunderstorms. Ahead of the storm, Governor Gavin Newsom tweeting out tonight, California has pre-positioned resources, including dozers, hand crews, rescue swimmers, and helicopters in Ventura, Los Angeles, and San Bernardino counties to respond to potential debris flows and mudslides. We have team coverage for you tonight. Fox 11's Matthew Cedar standing by live in the Palisades with the preparations going on there. But first, we begin with meteorologist Star Harvey. Star.
Yes, Susan, we are preparing for this early season storm system due to arrive as early as tomorrow evening. As of right now, conditions across the area on the dry side. This is for most of the west coast here, California. We do have some energy off to northern California, but of course that storm system still coming together with its ingredients there across the Pacific Northwest. With this storm system headed in, we have multiple alerts across our region here. We are going to have that winter storm warning in place, a wind advisory, but also a flood watch. Of course, I'll go into detail about this a little bit later, but wanting to get to the headlines to talk a little bit about our peak timing with this system moving in here. We are looking at the peak timing stretching across California from tomorrow around the 5 p.m. hour, stretching stretching through Tuesday at about 3 p.m. We may see some of that residue lasting a little bit longer, but again, this is when we are expecting the heaviest of our system to pass through. We are also looking at about a 10 to 20% chance of some flash flood or debris flow across some of our recent burn scars, but also the potential for gusty winds, which could cause those down power lines or those down tree limbs. We are talking the possibility of some thunderstorms, lightning pushing through, but also some of that mountain snow in our higher elevations. Of course, I plan to go into detail about this in my full forecast, but of course, we're going to go ahead and head out to Matthew Seedorf. He is out there across the Palisade area with some details about how we are preparing across the area for the system moving in. Matthew.
Well, Star, many people are getting ready tonight. We're outside of Station 23 in the Palisades. You can see they've got the sand set up for people to come and get those free sandbags. Many people also watching that forecast very closely. Southern California's burn-scarred neighbor